Most people read books completely wrong. Here is what nobody tells you. I had 200 books sitting on my shelf. Business books, philosophy, psychology, productivity, all of them collecting dust because I never had time to finish them. Sound familiar? Here is the brutal truth. While you are struggling to get through Chapter 3, someone else is extracting every single insight from every single book you own in under 30 days using AI. And they are making decisions faster, thinking sharper, and moving ahead of you right now. I know because I became that person. 1 month ago, I ran an experiment. I fed every book I owned into an AI system and built what I now call my second brain. The results were not just good. They were so far beyond what I expected that I had to make this video. By the end of this, you will know exactly how I did it, what tools I used, and why not doing this means you are already falling behind. Stay with me because the gap between people who know this and people who do not is growing every single day. Let me give you some context that will make this hit differently. The average person reads 12 books a year. At that pace, to get through 200 books, you would need over 16 years. 16 years. But here is what is changing right now in 2024 and into 2025. The people who are winning are not the ones who read the most. They are the ones who extract insights the fastest and apply them immediately. We are living through the biggest knowledge acceleration in human history. AI is not just a tool anymore. It is becoming the operating system for high performers. And if you are still reading books the traditional way, one page at a time, highlighting with a yellow marker, hoping you remember something 6 months later, you are playing a game that has already changed rules on you. The cost of staying slow is not just falling behind in your career. It is watching people with less raw intelligence than you make better decisions simply because they have a smarter system. That is what this experiment exposed, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Okay, so here is what I actually did. Step 1 was the simplest part. I gathered every book I owned in digital format. PDFs, EPUB files, Kindle exports. For physical books, I used an app called Genius Scan to photograph every page and convert them to searchable PDFs. Now, before you say that sounds like a lot of work, it took me one Saturday afternoon and around 4 hours total. That front-loaded effort paid back within the first week. Once I had my digital library ready, I started feeding books into Google Notebook LM. If you have not heard of Notebook LM yet, pay close attention. You upload any document, a full book, a research paper, a transcript, and it becomes an interactive AI that you can actually have a conversation with. Here is where it stopped being a productivity hack and started becoming something that genuinely changed how I think. After loading about 40 books into Notebook LM, I started doing something most people never think to do. I started cross-referencing authors against each other. I would ask questions like, where does Ryan Holiday and Cal Newport actually disagree about deep work? Or, what do 3 different psychology books say about habit formation and where do they contradict each other? The AI would synthesize across all of them simultaneously. Do you understand what that means? A conversation that would have required years of reading, dozens of sticky notes, and a doctoral thesis-level research project happened in minutes. I found patterns across books that the authors themselves probably never noticed because they were not reading each other in real time. I found contradictions in popular advice that millions of people are following blindly right now. And here is the uncomfortable part. Some of the most celebrated productivity advice out. Now we need to talk about why your current approach to learning is fundamentally broken, and it is not your fault. The traditional model of reading, absorb, highlight, forget 90% within 48 hours, was designed for a world where information moved slowly. Research from the University of Waterloo, published in 2015, confirmed that without active review, you forget approximately 80% of new information within 72 hours. 80%. That means most of what you have ever read is essentially gone. But here is the root cause problem that nobody in the self-help space wants to admit. The issue is not that you need to read more or read better. The issue is that knowledge without a retrieval system is just entertainment. You feel productive, you feel like you are improving. But if you cannot instantly access and apply what you learned 6 months ago, it might as well have never happened. This is why smart-driven people like you, people who clearly care about growth because you are watching a video like this, still feel like they are not moving fast enough. It is not an intelligence problem. It is a systems problem, and systems can be fixed. Here is what every productivity influencer gets wrong about this. They tell you to take better notes, build a Zettelkasten, use Notion, Obsidian, whatever the app of the month is, and those tools are not bad, but they all have the same fatal flaw. They require you to do the tagging, linking, and organizing manually, which means you are still the bottleneck. What I discovered during this 30-day experiment is that the secret advantage is not in capturing information. It is in automating the organization of that information so that you spend zero mental energy on filing and 100% of your energy on applying. The people who are genuinely ahead right now are not reading more than you. They are using AI as a processing layer between raw information and their own thinking. They feed in books, articles, podcasts, transcripts, and the AI organizes connections they would never have made alone. Most people treat AI like a search. So let me walk you through what the complete system looks like after 30 days of refinement. It has 4 layers that work together. Layer 1 is capture. Every book, article, or piece of content you consume gets digitized and fed into Notebook LM as a source document. Layer 2 is conversation. Instead of reading linearly, you have targeted conversations with the material asking only the questions relevant to your current goals or decisions. Layer 3 is connection. You use Notebook LM to query across multiple sources simultaneously, finding patterns and contradictions automatically. And Layer 4 is retrieval. This is where Redwise Reader comes in. Any insight I generate through my AI conversations gets saved directly to Redwise, which then surfaces it back to me through spaced repetition. So the insights do not just get created, they get reinforced into long-term memory on a schedule designed around how your brain actually works. After 30 days, I had processed 200 books. I had a searchable database of insights organized by topic, author, and decision type. I could pull up exactly what 3 different leadership experts say about managing conflict in under 20 seconds. That is not just efficiency. That is a cognitive advantage that compounds every single day you use it. All right, here is exactly what you do starting today. First, spend one afternoon converting your existing books and documents into PDFs. Use Genius Scan for physical books. It is free and takes about 30 seconds per page. Second, create a free Notebook LM account at notebooklm.google.com and upload your first 10 books. Do not try to do everything at once. Start with the 10 books most relevant to what you are working on right now. Third, instead of reading, have 3 targeted conversations with your material each day. Ask specific questions tied to specific problems you are actually solving. 4, and this is the piece most people skip, connect your workflow to Redwise Reader. Everything costs under $20 a month combined, and the return on that investment is frankly embarrassing compared to what you are already spending on books you never finish. If you want to take this further, there is a no-code automation stack using tools. We covered a lot today, so let me bring this full circle. You started this video knowing you had unread books and not enough time. Now you know the exact system to extract more value from those books in 30 days than most people get in a decade of traditional reading. The gap between people who build AI-powered second brains and people who do not is not going to shrink. It is going to accelerate. The question is which side of that gap you want to be on. If this gave you a new angle on how to actually use AI as a thinking tool, not just a chat toy, then hit subscribe, because this channel is dedicated to giving you the insider edge on AI before it becomes mainstream knowledge. Drop a comment below telling me how many unread books you have right now. I genuinely want to know, and I read every single reply. And if you want to go deeper on building AI systems that make you faster and sharper than everyone around you, the next video is already waiting for you. Watch it now. Disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. AI results vary. Always verify AI-generated content before relying on it.